Hey Guitar Dudes and Dudettes, thanks for checking the video out. We're at part number 3 now of the Telecaster upgrade. And if you haven't seen the first 2 videos, go back and check them out. This is a 2015 Fender Mexican-made Telecaster Standard, and I'm upgrading it with a Wilkinson bridge and some V-Mod pickups from the US shop, and also some Fender locking tuners. So we're down to the last bit here. We've already got the new bridge in, we've already got the bridge pickup in, and now I've mounted the V-Mod neck pickup in, and I wanted you to be able to get maybe a little bit of a view how that goes in there. It's no big deal. Screws come through the top. You've got these like pieces of surgical tubing that are your spacers here, so they act as your springs. You've seen other pickups mounted with springs for height adjustment. Fender uses like surgical tubing there. So also one other thing to note of difference here, you'll encounter this if you're trying to do the same upgrade. The stock pickup has 2 wires. The black one's the ground, the white one is the hot. The new pickup, the V-Mod, is set up so that you can use it with a 4-position switch, which I think puts the 2 pickups out of phase. Anyway, the yellow line is soldered to the like the frame of the pickup, so we're not going to use that yellow wire. I'm just going to leave it covered the way that it came. The white wire is the hot, the black is the ground. So my wiring situation in here is the white's going to come through here. I'm going to attach it right there. That's to the pickup selector, and then the black wire actually gets soldered to a point down here. I'll show you a picture of that. And once that's done, then we can bolt it all back up. We'll be all done, get some new strings on it, and let's get a sound check and see if it sounds any different than it did before. We'll A/B it. So here we go. Let me go ahead and get these wires shoved through, get the solder gun heated up, and then we'll be done. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention real quick. The base plate on the V-Mod pickup for the neck position, these are not the little holes that the screws go through are not threaded, and in fact they're too small for the supplied screws, so you have to very, very carefully enlarge them to get the screws to start threading. Obviously you don't want to go too big because it's just a piece of plastic, so I used the tip of an X-Acto knife and very, very carefully just would whittle out a little chunk, try the screw, whittle out a little chunk. As soon as I got them to start threading on their own, I stopped. So that worked out perfect for me. So you may have to do that yourself. Also note that they're coated in wax, so the little holes are covered in wax when you first start the process. Alright, so let me get my solder gun heated up, and then we'll route these wires and we'll button this bad boy up. Okay, I've got me some just towels spread out here so that if I get any splatter from any solder or anything like that, it's not going to end up burning a hole through my finish. We wouldn't want that to happen. So first things first, I'm just going to route this wire, and bless Fender's heart, at least for their Mexican-made Telecasters, they make the hole really nice and easy, big, so it's easy to route through. No big deal there. And then I'm using a piece of this shrink wrap material as my insulation. So what I'm doing is I'm cheating. I just clipped off the hot wire for the original bridge, or neck pickup rather, and saved me a little tag in. That way I don't get a solder right on the, and then I just do the little twisty splice deal. I kind of want to have it bend over a little bit this direction, and now that little twisty splice deal, that's the technical term, by the way, twisty splice, is just going to get kind of soldered up here a little bit. There we go. Alright, I'm not the world's best solderer because I'm kind of shaky, but we have 2 good connections. Okay, so now I got to get my heat gun, melt that down, and then we can screw this back on, get my wires all laid in there nice, And then we're just strings and setup. Voila! Nice. Perfect. Set up, we're all intonated. I put on some of the Billy Gibbons Dunlop 8 to 40s. They sound a little bit slinky, but they're not overly slinky. I kind of like them, so I've got them on a couple other guitars. I've been running NYXL 9 to 42s, but giving these a shot on a few different guitars, and I'm kind of getting used to them and kind of liking them. So we did have to do a little bit of intonation on our bridge there, but wasn't too difficult. Very easy to set it up, and it's pretty spot on accurate. So I've got like a compressor. I've got a Klon in the Helix. I've got the JCM 800. I've got a little bit of delay and reverb. I'm going right into the speaker emulation in my PowerCab. We're using the Celestian Greenback. So that's what the setup is. I've got just about everything on the amp set at 5, except for the presence is around 6.5. The guitar is going to be dimed. We'll check out the pickups in all 3 positions. We'll start off with a couple of chord things, and then I'll do a single note thing, and we'll immediately do them A-B. So obviously I'm shooting this before we upgrade the guitar, and then we'll come back and I'll put the 2 together so you get a sound difference, and we'll see if there's any difference at all. All right, so here we go. First try, we're on the bridge pickup here. Neck. Alright, now the VMod setup. Middle. And down to the bridge. Pretty sure it's illegal to play that on a Telecaster, but you know I'm a rebel. Well, there it is, Guitar Dudes and Dudettes. Tell me down in the comments what you thought. To my ear here in the room, I think the VMod pickups sound a lot better. Really like the bridge. I like the vintage look at the bridge. It's very comfortable with the cutout the way Wilkinson did it. I don't know exactly how much tonal difference the brass saddles make, but I like the way they look. Of course, the locking tuners was just an additional upgrade to make life easier on string changes. Those worked out great. So did the string tree. So everything about it, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think it sounds better. I think it was worth the money to me to buy a Mexican and then go ahead and upgrade it a little bit, get closer to that American Professional for about half the money. And of course now they've got the Professional too, so if you've got the Professional, you just got an obsolete guitar. Sorry about that. That's how Fender rolls. But anyway, I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Please, like I said, let me know down in the comments what you think between the upgrades, if you could hear a difference or not, and appreciate you watching the video, and as always, rock on.